Mr. Excalibur on a different hero besides the DK.
I mean, his strength, in my understanding, has always been the micro, right? So MP is up his alley. He's the meepo specialist, right? He likes pressing a lot of keys. He plays Tinker as well, so I'll see. There's the point that you were making about the tempo and the speed of which he plays, which might be useful as well. So you're right, but I think you're right about the whole dual core idea. I haven't said mid MP in forever.
Yeah.
I think last time I was seeing it was in South America. I saw like Faker, but that was Division 2 as well. It's not even the good South America.
Yeah, I don't quite recall. Man, what a day to be calling Faker not good South America. How the mighty have fallen.
He's better than he's better than me. I'm just saying.
Oh, that's not obviously.
He got kicked out. I'm not flaming the guy. I'm just saying he got kicked from Division 2, right? So.
That's a good point.
Anyway.
That's a good point. Mr. Jeans is back, isn't he? Right?
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Hey, let's not talk about SA because we'll get a Reddit post.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Here we are. Gork, my streamer. Where is he?
Look, I love this guy so much. I try to look like him every day.
Yeah, it's really
and
weird.
I don't think I'm succeeding because he's more handsome.
Yeah, when we were in Stockholm and you showed up to cast in the booth, I was like, why is Gork in the booth with me? Isn't he supposed to be paneling right now? And I'd be like, oh wait, never mind. This is all the...
Yeah, it's very confusing. The handler kept getting me. She's like, Gork, we have to go somewhere. I'm like, I'm not Gork. Who are you again? And then I sighed, and then she knew immediately, right?
Oh,
that was the thing.
That's...
She recognized it.
You used way too many hand movements. You're not Swedish. What is this?
Yeah. Nah, she just recognized my breathing. That was it. That was what gave me away. Otakar in this bottom lane. We'll see how this lane goes because we didn't. Remember back when the TNC was obsessed with Enigma 5 and March would pick it every game and also lose every game? And that was like a trend for like half a year.
Wasn't that when it was good when like this didn't have a 35... Oh, it was when it had a 35-second cooldown on demonic conversion, so you could deny every single range game. But yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, I was trying to flame March for it, but it just didn't work out for them, right? Because the tempo the 5 would give was not that great. I do think the hero's fine. Usually the build these days is actually maxing Malefice and only taking 1 point in demonic conversion, but I wonder how that's going to change with, like you said, the cooldown change here. Because if you don't Malefice, right, the lane is just weak. But I guess Klinks doesn't really need any help either, because he's a ranged hero with an orb attack.
Yeah, and I mean, I want to say that we have seen position 5-ish Enigma, because arguably with the way that Seb played position 5, especially when he gave him a hero that could farm like the Windrunner, Taiga did have to kind of take a back seat to the normal tradition, like a normal amount of farm that a position 4 would be able to get. So, you know, I think it can work genuinely. Taiga, of course, is a very high watermark to achieve, especially with the way that they played. Yeah, I think it can definitely happen here.
Their spell casting was insane, to be honest. So it's tough.
Yes, it was.
But
they did win.
If someone can do it, it's that tends to be a good sign of a good team. Yeah.
Nah, they fluked it. We should just redo the whole major in case it was a fluke.
Just in case.
Yeah.
The Coddle is, to no surprise, winning mid. That was my question as well. Like, I don't know how the MP matchup really works against Supreme. It feels like Supreme is just gonna have free farm. I wonder what's the earliest NP can like TP behind Coddle and kill him. Is there a big item that you're looking for, you think, here for Excalibur?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Especially because like normally like NPs, they just thrive off the fact that they do so much damage and they just right-click you to death. And on a squishy interior, you'd think that'd be really strong, but with it seems like, is that Tranquils? No, sorry, that's bots. That's just a casual wind lace for the movement speed.
Yeah, what?
I was like, what? Tranquils?
Yeah. The same build on Coddle every day. Like the concern against Coddle, right, is first of all, what build is Excalibur going to go for? In the major, we saw 2 variations. So the Hawk build of like, you know, just immediately rushing BKB plus Maelstrom or something like that, and then we saw the Matoma Man of the classic Orchid Rush, right? Yep. But I think the Orchid Rush lost favor as the major went on because the Hawk just refused to do that.
Yeah, the Hawk was like, I'm going to buy first item death, so screw Orchid.
Yeah. And his big timing was the BKB, right? Whereas usually Orchid NPs, the big timing is getting the Orchid. But I feel like against Coddle, that's probably what you want to do, because the extra bit of damage of Orchid's useful. Maybe he could go for Witchblade, and that would be like the cheaper alternative. That also hurts Coddle a lot.
A little mistake by Supreme, as he's been doing a good job contesting the side camp. Yeah, I think he just kind of let that Illuminate go, didn't charge it at all. Was probably keen on picking up those 3 lasts. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. For the most part, he's doing a lot of annoying here of the NP. despite Excalibur's best efforts to micro. Yeah, I don't know what the build is going to be. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't mind.
Because you have to do something against the Caudle, right? That's the question. Like, how do you cancel Supreme's early impact? Because once he starts going to different lanes, you also have great Caudle setup. Especially the top lane, you know? Shaman Shackles or Underlord's Pit of Malice, and anything dies to the Illuminate
I'll
blast.
tell you what I wasn't expecting. It was a full Gleipnir to be in the quick buy here for Excalibur.
That should help.
I think it's
not crazy, actually. I don't mind that. Yeah, the team fight is definitely useful. The Maelstrom is the build that, again, the Hawk was very popularized for. It's just, that's not going to be sufficient to kill the Caudle, unless he forgets to buy, like, I don't know, Quelling or Tangos or whatever.
That'll be Maelstrom number 2 in the quick buy here, as, of course, the Clinks also has one queued up after the Brown Boots.
Yep.
No surprise
That's
there.
That's the build on Clinks, of course.
Yeah, no surprise there, to be honest. No more Orchid, by the way. He doesn't have Strafe. Stop building Orchid on this hero. Thank you.
Clinks is historically known for farming fast and taking stacks quickly. That's the two attributes that Clinks has always been known for.
And eating creeps, although they have brought that one back, to be fair.
Thank God for that, yeah. Zip Zapper is in trouble. Supreme decided to rotate. Kidaro is joining. They actually have Malefice, so that's going to cancel the TP. Zip Zapper will just die to the Malefice damage. Maybe an Illuminate. There's the Illuminate setup. And the kill goes the way of Kidaro, actually. Supreme tried to take it for himself, but it wasn't sufficient.
Yeah, NMP goes top instead. He's going to mirror the rotation and get a kill onto Ahri with the help of...
Well done. Oh, you know, that was an aspect I wasn't considering, but one of the strengths, of course, the Caudle is how early his Boots of Travel comes by, and how global a hero he can be considered. And NP can mirror that very effectively, so there's that point to be made.
That's a really good point, and that's not to be understated either, actually. A lot of teams will run a Wisp versus a Caudle mid for this very point. But of course, that requires you to have a good laning partner for the Wisp, and you know, if not a good laning partner, at least a good overcharge partner or something, right? You've got to enable a Wisp in your draft. He doesn't just fit into every single draft. Whereas the mid NP, yeah, you know, he's gonna win most of his lanes, if not all of them, because of just the nature of the hero, and he's gonna have at least 1 point in the teleportation. Whereas the Wisp usually cannot contest the first couple of rotations that Caudle makes because he just farms so damn fast. And Supreme is doing just that here as he stacks himself a couple of more camps, and he's going to get these bots not quite at 9 speed, but still a very respectful, probably like 7 to 7.5 minutes here. This is a huge stack.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Does 9 usually also go for like the Windlace and the Null, do you know?
I don't.
I know 9 is the fastest.
I don't know. I probably at least a Null. I don't know about Windlace. I know that Caudle did get nerfed a little bit, which is why maybe some heroes or some players are kind of... he got nerfed with his move speed, right, I believe. So that's maybe why he considers the Windlace here, just for a little bit of casual move speed.
Fair point, actually, yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. 9 usually, at his fastest, when Caudle was like super imba at the start of the patch, he usually got like bots around now at his fastest. And he's...
Okay, that's good then. That's very good.
What did he just buy? Is that bots on the way?
Just bought bots.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
he bought bots.
So,
yeah. It just bugged in the thing. Shibe in the top lane, the rotation by Excalibur, they force a TP. Shibe tanks enough to be able to get away, but Ahri did die here. However, Excalibur is doing what I'd expect someone who's, again, dealing with a Caudle, right? You know Caudle is now perma-farming for the Boots of Travel. Now he's going to start being impactful, so you try to, not necessarily mirror his rotation, just have the same amount of impact as he is, right? You try to push a tower, though, Supreme comes by, and here's when the countering starts, where Supreme becomes too strong a hero.
So the Soulbind Gork.
Illuminate up in 3 seconds.
Gork only has 1 point in mana shields. This is trouble.
But they don't have enough catch. It seems like Blinding Light, though, available. There's a Chakra Magic use. Auto attacks. Gork will die to Supreme's auto attacks. Kidaro wasn't really needed here.
Nah.
There's the Windlace coming into play, though. Genuinely, the extra movement speed. And obviously the Boot to Travel movement speed. Pretty big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely the Windlace, though.
Definitely the Windlace. That was what tipped it over the edge, right?
Yeah, the straw that broke the camel's back. Definitely not light form with bots, but yeah, I mean, you know. No, definitely.
Well, 10 movement speed is a big deal, but I like this. And I think while Excalibur's idea was good and it seems to be working, they are the concerns that we're having. And Excalibur might actually decide to go for Atos before he goes for the full Maelstrom.
Yeah, he's
No, that's the casual crown.
No, he's going to Gleipnir.
No, I know, but like, what do you build first, right?
Oh,
Atos gives
yeah,
you more
I
cash,
guess he just
so
wants,
it allows you to kill.
I guess he wants stats. Yeah, good point.
Usually the Maelstrom gets built first because it farms faster, but Atos gives you more kill potential. So some offlaners will go for Atos first, for example.
Yeah, and I guess I suppose with just the Javelin, you give yourself that Pierce opportunity, which can
just good.
very easily get kills onto very many of these heroes with very little armor. But the push top lane is starting. There's going to be Fiend's Gate down bottom to counter Excalibur here. Excuse me, they're going to hit him with the shackles here. Shibe holding him down, does not have a point in the Pit of Malice, might not even need it though. And with the rotation out from Supreme, they will collect the life of Excalibur. Zapper going to head back top lane immediately to continue the siege, as does Kadar. I think can you bring Eidolons with you?
What?
No, heroes can channel.
Right? You can
okay.
bring units. Only heroes? Oh, okay.
Allies that pass through.
So I want to stay behind. Zip Zapper, he has been hexed. Unfortunately, all the damage Klings brings to the table is physical, so however much they hex him and shackle him, Zip Zapper probably won't die here. They do take advantage of this to take the tower up top, and that's going to start opening up the map for ITB,
yep.
not Chicken.
Not Chicken Fighters, ITB. Here's the very casual Urn into Vessel build for the Coddle. Very strong this game, of course, against really any lineup. I didn't really give this build enough respect until I realized that, yeah, you know what? Amping the Vessel percentage-based damage with Solar Bind is very strong.
Crazy.
It's very good. I definitely underestimated that, and especially versus two very tanky heroes. Of course, early on the DK, right, to nullify a lot of that healing, but Dusa is probably the best stat buyer in the game, and she buys lots of those, so she also naturally tanks up. So very, very strong item.
Even NP.
Yeah.
Like for an int hero, 2.6 strength gain on NP, not bad. You go for Atos, so also a little bit of stats there. Like, it's genuinely such a good item. And this was all because of the change from, I think it was HP removal before with Urn Shadows and Vessel. And then it got changed into actual magic damage, which means it gets amped by everything. Solar Bind being probably, I think it's probably one of the highest, if not the highest.
For a kill
magic
here.
resistance reduction.
Yeah, as far as items, I want to say, I think, yeah.
Compared to items, for sure, right? Yeah.
I don't know if are there any other percentage-based items damage? Shibe, you in trouble? I think they're going to kill him here. Yeah, very good Sprout. Nowhere for Shibe to go. Yeah, he's too.
No, I mean the bind,
he's too thick to slip out there. Even though Excalibur could walk out, he could not. I think the largest model in the game. You always like talking about the model sizes.
Yes, yes. I meant the bind, by the way. Like the amount of magic resistance it reduces. I think it's the highest because it's more than Veil.
Oh, pardon.
It's more than E-Blade, right? Yeah.
Yeah, E-Blade
I'm thinking of skills.
Yeah, plus it's,
I don't know about Hunter's Boomerang.
Plus, I don't know what the math is on this because I'm not that smart.
Yeah.
But it does make a difference when you reduce magic resistance compared to amp magic damage. There is a difference there. I don't know what it is, but I
mean, I can't do the math, but the difference essentially is when you reduce magic resistance, right? You're getting whatever resistance they have, and you're bringing it down, right? Whereas if you amp magic damage, the initial damage that's going to get reduced as DK dies, by the way, is going to be amplified. So if you have like a hood, for example, right? And you reduce that damage, then the hood becomes less useful. Whereas if you amp the magic damage, you just take more damage that hood will be reducing.
Got it. Okay, right? So yeah, damage reduction is magic damage. Magic. What the heck?
Resistance reduction.
Yes, magic resistance reduction is always better, and that's what old Veil used to do, actually, as I recall.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and now it amps spell damage, which makes it better because it includes physical and pure, right?
Yeah, correct. I wonder if anyone's going to build one this
game.
We
went a little...
Because it would amp...
A little math rant there.
Yeah, it would amp like Burning Barrage. I think it makes a big difference, though, because as Purge always likes to talk about, right? He likes to talk about how Mana Shield does its reductions before or after, right? So that's why Deuce is especially tanky. Right. That's why, she dies so quickly without it when either she's out of mana or if she doesn't have it, enabled, then she ends up getting caught out. Because of the way that reductions are calculated. So yeah, it ends up making a big difference here.
So now as we go back into the game, by the way, the map domination has been completely in the favor of ITB. Team Reborn hasn't really had any opportunities to push down towers because not only are you dealing with a Shaman Coddle, which are really difficult to deal with in terms of map control, but there's also an Underlord who is making sure that the safe lane tower does not get pushed. And so the map is slowly getting choked out of Reborn's hand, and they don't really have much options because your kill squad is kind of weak. Now with a Blink Dagger, you might get a chance, but it's still not the best. Rubik TK is just okay. It's no Hoodwink, it's no Mirana. But this is the best play they can make.
Yeah, and it's a lot better for sure. It seems like Excalibur, he was able to make those rotations early before Fiend's Gate came online, but now that it is, they need to take care of Shibe first and foremost, and they have Excalibur. He's going to TP behind, and the Sprout just missing Ari there, who also has an additional casual Wind Lace. So he's bought two, right? Because one of those goes into the Tranquils. How many? Are there more heroes with casual win laces? Just the 2. That's interesting though, nonetheless. Enigma, by the way, with the full of lads already online. Kadaro next into the Wraith Pact.
That's scary, right? That you can just left your 5 solo farm a like Wraith Pact, right? And it doesn't even take him that long. It's kind of wild. He's even being useful because he's actually shoving lanes.
Excalibur farming. There they go, from the fountain into the jungle. This time they do have the Pit of Malice, and look at the magic damage. Down goes Excalibur. Team Bald attempting to try and repel the jungle invaders, but with only Pablo having the TP at the ready, he's unable to do very much, and instead is only able to watch the NP die.
This is one of the cases where like there's only so much map that you can farm, right? I think they put Excalibur into the dangerous farm because he technically can just TP away, but obviously if they catch him before he's capable of channeling, then the point is moot. They really need Zip Zapper to get a shard, and I think that's why they're giving him a little bit more priority.
And here's something that the Shaman still does have the ability to do. They removed this from the Dusa, at least on the towers, but so far Shaman, at least for the next 10 hours
DP.
at least, yes, DP, sorry, can still take Roche much faster than he's supposed to be. So even without any minus armor, yeah, with no minus armor, they will still clear Roche incredibly quickly and give first Aegis here to Supreme.
What do you mean, supposed to be? I think this is perfectly fine and balanced. Please do not change this spell.
He's got a DD rune and Stone Gaze, which he will waste no time to use. Solar Bind, though, is going to put him in a bit of a pickle, but he's going to be able to get himself far away enough.
Yeah, honestly, good use of Stone Gaze. Like, they're putting, once again, whoever's in that position of the top lane, they know they're going to be ganked at some point, so they need to have an escape route. And if Gorks is it's Stone Gaze, and it is, and by doing that, you're still managing to farm on your carry, while Zip Zapper is capable of taking, once again, the safer farm down bottom. He's trying to go for the shard. He's been hit with a Solar Bind plus Vessel, but there's nobody around to help Supreme get the skill.
I mean, still, look at his damage, though, right? Like, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
700 damage done with 2 presses of the buttons. TP is incoming as they TP right on top of Kadaro. Sprouted it up with no opportunity to escape. He will fall. At least a kill there for Excalibur.
Okay, Atos, and you're pretty close to the Gleipnir. We'll see how much that does. Supreme does find Gork, but Gork is really close to tower. Supreme might have gone a bit too far. Has Aegis though in his power. Can echo. Actually, sorry, Ari gets jumped here.
Really nicely
as he is going to be dying.
There's vision here as well.
I read the sponsor there by accident.
Supreme, he's too fast. He's too slim. How do you catch this horse?
That's the biggest part about Coddle. I'm thanking you for mentioning that. He has such a slim model.
And you know what else that they actually fixed? And shout out to Jeff Hill for doing this, right? They actually finally fixed
Jeff Hill's my buddy.
Illuminate facing the right way.
Yes, they did. Thank you so much, Jeff Hill. Bengen, he's in trouble. Maleficent sent him back into the Midnight Pulse. No time for the Decrep or for the ward. Where are they going, by the way?
Back down bottom. They see
Gork protecting the portal. Gork? He was curious about what the portal was containing. It was containing a bunch of heroes. And Gork is forced through the Stone Gaze. He's sent back with a blinding light. Gork really low on HP. He's going to die to the Spirit Vessel damage. Never check unknown portals, guys, you know.
Don't check. Never check. You never want to look and see what's inside because usually it's death. And there it was, certainly, at least for Ari. They have caught Zip Zapper, but not enough follow-up there to lock him down. And Supreme was dying, I think, to the Nether Ward. So he will be forced back. The tower bottom is taken by Kadaro and the Eidolons. And that was going to be a very quick death on Gork. So I know that Fiend's Gate pings the location that you cast to. Like, everyone can see that on the map, not just observers and allies.
Yeah,
enemies also see that. Can you also see the point of origin? That's my question.
Yeah, right? I think you see both points. I'm not sure now. I have to think back to another game. I haven't really played with it. But I think it's both points. What you can't see is who's going out.
No, yeah, of course.
Which is what Gork suffered from there.
He didn't expect all 5 heroes to be coming back. And because lots of heroes TP'd mid to save him early on in that engagement, and then he ran bottom to farm, no one was able to TP to the tier 1, even though it was standing. Although Shibe is going to be farming right underneath the ward. Kadaro, keen on turning. We haven't seen a black hole yet. Will we see one here? Unlikely. As there's Excalibur with the full Gleipnir. Actually, okay, never mind. We will see it. Black hole stolen, however, by the Rubik. Kadaro killed off, but they at least get through Zip Zapper before he dies. Excalibur on the run as there's stolen black hole. It's going to be for Odeker. They lack the damage to really nuke the dome, and now with Supreme showing up, as well as actually Gork, the fight looking pretty decent for Bald as Pablo stays alive. Excalibur as well will not fall. What What a Pablo die?
Wraithback killed him! Wraithback killed him, man. It deals like 25 damage every pulse. Supreme now sending the Dusa back. Now they're in trouble. Gork, he's gonna be hexed and killed. ITB just took down 4. They want the 5th. Pugna's fast, not fast enough for Supreme. Trying to use the Shadow Amulet, but don't worry, buddy. We have an Illuminate for you, and the godlike streak will be given to Supreme. I have never seen Wraithback kill a person. That's like dust killing
30 damage per second. I was like, what is he dying to?
Yeah, it's the Wraithback.
I thought it was an
man.
Eidolon. Okay.
Okay, so if you Solar Bind plus Wraithback, technically it's dealing like upwards of like 50 damage.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on, we have to nerf that aspect of it, Valve. Jeff.
Actually, no, it's dealing 40 damage.
Jeff, I've just submitted my ticket to the what's that website called? Stack Overflow. Please fix.
It's GitHub, you idiot. Stack Overflow is when coders ask people to do their jobs.
Yeah, that's the one you Google and copy paste from. My bad.
That's it. That was my whole university career, in fact, actually. So
that
respect it, please.
That was wild here. I'm just watching here because Supreme is in between Gork and a DK, but he's going to be able to TP out. Let's take a look at that Wraithpack getting a kill, shall we? That was epic.
Good call by the Enigma, even if it got stolen from, and good call by ITV to actually go and fight that. It's crazy that Wraithback stayed alive, by the way, that whole fight. It was actually really helping out this Clinks to survive. And there we see it. Just chasing after Pablo. Nobody's hitting it. Oh my god. Huge range, though, on the damage, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I think the range actually got buffed a little bit, which was why this item's... No, sorry, the Vlad's aura got buffed, which is why people started buying it. And you know what? Valve, this 731 C patch, you did too much. You increased the DPS by 5. That's why my boy died there. That's just unfair for Pablo.
That's why Wraithpack is so strong, right? That makes sense, yeah.
Odeker?
Odeker is going for Pablo now, by the way. And there's another one coming by too. Pablo is in trouble.
Dead.
And Pablo is now dead.
We've got a lot of DPS here. I think I see a Fade Grenade. Indeed, I think, yeah, that's on the Coddle, which he also amps this damage. This one's a little bit more, 40 damage per second on this one. It's mid lane. Gork being chased down by Supreme. He does at least dispel the Soul Bind, but that's going to be, Solar Bind with the E-Blade there to slow him as well. And Ari with the Blink Dagger, point blank, will find him. They get rid of the Nether Ward. Decrepify. It's going to buy a little bit of time for Gork, but even the life drain is going to be reduced to nil as Bengen is going to be cleaned up. Supreme now beyond godlike on the Coddle, 11-0 and 4. This one's starting to look really good here for ITB.
Yeah. Yes, it is. We talked about how Coddle seemed like he was just going to have a free game, honestly. We thought Fury needed to do something to stop him, and he wasn't really capable of it. I think the Atos was okay. The early rotations were fine as well, but it wasn't enough to make Coddle not have the game of his life. And that gave Odeker the space of his life now, and I have to deal with these 2 super farm cores. Even Shibe is helping out there, and it makes it impossible for Team Ball Reborn to really recover until Dusek just gets enough farm to 1v5, honestly. I just don't see much of the impact of the MP this whole game. Gleipnir's okay. He's got a root for the team fights, but the damage is very lackluster, especially with Underlord around.
Yeah, the damage is really lacking. I mean, you've got now Atrophy Aura, right? Just to kind of put it in perspective, 25% on the physical damage, and then just 25% of all damage.
Wraithpact.
On Wraithpact.
Oh, 30%.
Yeah, it's 30% now, yeah.
They buffed it.
It's quite a bit. 35 on Atrophy, and then eventually an additional 30 here on the Enigma is going to be pretty brutal. Smoke play here from Team Bald, as they will at least find themselves Supreme. This would be a good jump. He's got a Force Staff primed and ready to go, but will he get the chance to use it? So far, doesn't seem so. Does force, but not off the high ground, and he will fall. Seems like Kadaro will go as a secondary prize, although Ari holding him down. Kadaro is going to turn with the Black Hole on 50 HP. He catches 2. Zip Zapper, a bit tanky though, will breathe fire, and will pick up at least the kill onto Kadaro before he goes down himself. Excalibur as well, taken down by Odeker. And Ari might just end up dying here. No, I think he's just faster than these Greater Treants. Yeah, we're just going to be able to make it out. Ooh, that one was close. An aggressive move there by Bald picks off at least the mid laner. But they still end up losing the mid of their own and equal amounts of supports.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, exactly, and they also lose the offlaner in the process, right? So it was still a win for ITB, and now is the moment where, yeah, you're killing Coddle, fantastic, but Clink, is starting to take the reins of the game, and he's becoming the true win condition again. And you don't, I guess your solution against Clinks is Dusa will be strong enough eventually, so fair enough. I did create some space for Gork to farm, but it's still going to take a while for Gork to beat Clinks. In range versus ranged battles is usually who has more single target damage and who has more range, and Clinks beats you in both aspects. With the Burning Barrage, mind you. as you can see here.
Yep, the Burning Barrage.
He's even going to go for all the talents for Burning Barrage, right, which is the common build. Didn't go for the attack range talent. Usually very popular against the ranged core, but in this game he just knows. He can just play around the Burning Barrage and destroy Dusa.
And Dusa still a bit farther from her own Scotty, which maybe gives her a little bit of a better fighting chance. If ever stunning the creeps there, yeah, they're going to go ahead and make a jump onto him. Down he goes. Serpent wards committed for mid, which are going to be very quickly cleared here by the tower and the creep wave. But at least it's a little bit of a zoning Serpent wards. Team balled either way, not too interested in fighting. Excalibur TP's down bottom, nukes the wave. This might get him BKB here on this cast of Wrath of Nature. We'll watch the gold number go up. Cha-ching, not quite. He's still 100 gold shy.
Yeah, that BKB is super important for this fight. So if the smoke catches them before he can get his BKB, the best thing you can do here is just tank the smoke if you're Bengen.
Uh-oh, Bengen.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's fine. Bengen's just going to die for this, and it's okay. It's the best case scenario for them, honestly.
Yeah, they have just caught him here. Let's see how fast he goes with the DD rune. Good decrep at the very least will keep him alive, as they'll also caught Pablo. Gork is TPing to the tier 2 tower. Excalibur's top, so this is just supports dying slowly. At least the Pugna makes it out, but Pablo is not going to be as lucky.
Yeah, now you can fight with the Excalibur BKB.
They saw Gork. There's a ward back here.
Oh, the Blinding Light screwed him a little bit. They need a little more catch for this. That's going to be the E-Blade. Hidaro does not have Black Hole. He's just been turned to stone. Gork manages to get to the high ground. Pit of Malice stops him. The Illuminate, not enough damage, but Clinks will bring it instead as both him and Excalibur melt. The third one to die will be this poor TK. Zip Zapper gets saved for a second by the cover fly, but it's not going to be sufficient. ITB will now take a tower and probably a lane of Rax now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very, very good opportunistic fight. This ward here that was not dewarded by Ball. They didn't really scout it from that earlier push. Hold that thought as they may be getting the kill on the Bengen. Good Decrepify here. Underneath tier 4 towers, he does evade the Illuminate. No, at least one from Supreme before he is forced back. Pablo. What the heck is that? Hit a Malice. Okay, with an Immortal. What spell did he? Is there an OD in the game? As Pablo attempts to deny the mid lane of Barracks.
Are you stating that this Immortal changes the glance value?
I didn't know what it was. This one's like really brutal if you get the shard for Rubik, isn't it? No, sorry, it's Ags.
The shard doesn't change Pit of Malice.
Ags, that changes Pit of Malice.
Yeah, but not. Oh yeah, I guess it is linked to it. It used to be that it was linked to like the Fiend's Gate and it was plugged in, but I suppose it does make sense now. They separated it.
Fast Roche. Odeker, who by the way...
That was very fast. Snakes?
Snakes? No, definitely not Clinks. Definitely not a...
No, it was mostly snakes, mate. Mostly snakes. Give the support some credit, Richard.
Yeah.
Shaman deserves
Nice job, Shaman. You press star. Very proud of you. Gork
difficult.
Is very close to his BKB. 700 gold away. Excalibur now has his. Didn't have it in the last engagement, or at least didn't get the chance to use it with the way that Gork ended up getting jumped. And again, just a good ward kind of enables that, right? The Underlord joining the fight from behind. Supreme is incredibly mobile with his own bots, of course, as well as just lots of move speed. Again, still holding on to the casual win lace means he can really easily close the gap. And even with that 50% bonus move speed here on Stone Gaze, it gets countered by the percentage-based move speed slow on the Solar Bind. So Gork unable to really get out of dodge here. Without a shard on Rubik, this is going to continue to be the case for quite some time. I think that shard would be a very good pickup here if Rubik can afford it. I hope he ends up buying it with the Philly Stone money that he's getting, and I hope it's not E-Blade, or sorry, Ghost Scepter instead. Ghost Scepter helps yourself stay alive, but right now the issue has been more so your core is dying. Rubik not going to be bringing the damage even if he keeps himself alive a bit longer in these fights, in my opinion. Odeker is going to find Excalibur. Oh my goodness, he might just get him through the BKB. Well, there's going to be the black hole to certainly do him in.
Okay, Excalibur dead again, and Odeker now free to roam, try to catch Gork. He's the Scotty slow at the very least, but Gork does still have that ultimate. And it seems like the Burning Barrage will hurt Gork a little bit, but he preserves the Stone Gaze. Pretty big win for Gork there. They forced the Stone Gaze out, that was pretty much over.
Yeah, that would have been a huge win.
They might as well take the tier 2, right, down bottom, and then force potential just final fight. Get Megas.
Yeah, especially with Aegis still in the inventory, Odeker as well. He's done dealing with the Decrepify. Not like he's had really too much troubles with it. Again, Supreme has stepped up very nicely here in terms of dealing magic damage, perhaps even tossing on an E-Blade on top to further amp the damage. It's not really been too much of an issue here whatsoever. This Pugna has certainly been dealt with.
Yeah. It seems like that's the case with a lot of Pugnas I've seen recently, where it's just, oh no, Gork, he was on the low ground, and Ari was ready to catch him. Stonegate still available, but lacking the mana now. Gork gets the BKB, trying to survive a bit longer, still stuck in those snakes, as the Rubik gets sent down to the low ground because of a force staff. Ari is not playing around. He won't die to this Rubik, and with Gork dead, I think this is probably game, Richie?
It's probably game. Yeah.
You need 40 seconds, he doesn't have buyback at all. I guess you can come back and still fight, but you'd have no BKB when you do, or just barely, I guess, if you wait 20 seconds after you...
There goes Excalibur, he's going to cut a wave. There is a Fiend's Gate at the ready, however. And again, they nuke waves very well from range, but it's not going to really stop a lot of this damage from coming through, especially with the Coddle heals. They have caught a Clinks. He does have Aegis here, though, of course. To be reminded, is Kadaro up to the high ground. It's not a black hole, but at least does a good job getting the Wraith Pact in deep, as there's going to be the kill onto Bengen. Zapper as well, who pops the BKB, nearly getting this kill onto Shive, will end up falling to the magic damage of Excalibur. Supreme as well in the area, as Kadaro trapped on the high ground will be stunned once and killed as Excalibur TP's back in the second time to this engagement. Gork now alive, and that's a tier 3 tower, more than healthy.
Yeah, I retract my previous statement. The high ground defense by Team Bald Reborn was pretty good, and I probably overestimated ITB. As Gork and Bengen both get caught with an Illuminate. Bengen is the target once again. The Crep will save him. There's the Fate Bolt. Get rid of that Aegis, but that was going to expire soon anyway. Gork acting BKB, trying to turn Otakar to stone. Otakar has a Hurricane Pike. He's going to be fine for now. Excalibur from behind goes for Supreme. Supreme has no way to save himself, but Excalibur will guarantee the skill.
Huge.
As it seems like ITB are faltering a little bit. Team Bald Reborn is seeing the cracks, and they're exploiting them.
Yeah, really nicely done. As soon as the Force Staff is used there by Supreme, it's a nice move by Excalibur to recognize he's in an extremely vulnerable position. Quick little sentry ward, I think, just barely gave vision uphill and does allow them to actually kind of kick that one off by just sniping the Aegis. And even though Gork doesn't get the best usage of his ulti or that second BKB, it's still the rest of the team that plays very nicely around him to, as you say, pick up and kind of exploit the chinks, right, in the armor that seem to be showing for ITB. The Knights, however, the Knights in trouble. Zip Zap, likely dead.
The kinks in there.
Is it kinks?
Kinks, no? Look, I'm not an English speaker, all right? It's my third language, so, if you don't know... You looking it up? Yeah,
I might be.
No, he's not. He's gonna come out with the answer now in a couple of seconds. He's just racking his brain for it. Don't worry. This brain even has a name. It's called Google. It's great. As we get a link, it's about to be finished here on the Enigma. That's might change things a little bit. Gork looking scarier, of course. Because he went for the BKB, not the Scotty. And Scotty got delayed considerably, but that BKB did help him survive a little bit longer, so definitely the right choice. Highest impact item you can buy at any point in the game.
And now the Gem of True Sight, also quite a high impact item, allowing you to kind of try and close out these games and get rid of those pesky wards that Team Bald have managed to find fights under here. That's been really the big issue for ITB in this last little high ground offensive push. Now without Aegis here for 2 more minutes, Team Bald do get a little bit of time to sit back and breathe and hopefully farm up this next big item for Gork.
No, you're right.
It's going to be...
Chink is an arrow opening apparently, so that's why it works.
Okay. Zip Zapper, he breaks smoke on a ward. He does hit the ward, but Excalibur from behind is caught by Kadaro, and he's going to be killed 100-0 in the black hole. Zip Zapper trying to TP out and is not going to be able to do so. So he's just going to end up dying. Team Bald not seemingly on the same page here whatsoever. Gork, even with no one left to defend him, is going to be completely caught off here on the high ground. Bengen dies to all the Serpents on the high ground as the Queen of Serpents herself is taken down. The GG is called, and it's ITB take the series 2-1 after a very convincing game 1 from Bald. A very, very good comeback in the series from them, I would say.
I'd say that last fight was a little bit underwhelming, right? Because you had